Welcome back to Shaw Spotlight. I'm here with the Skills for Safer Living facilitator, Evelyn Larson, and today we're talking about the Skills for Safer Living group. Evelyn, to get started, tell me a bit about yourself. How did you get started in the industry?
Well, I went to school and down in Peterborough, and I majored in psychology, and I ended up with a job at the Canadian Mental Health Association there, working in crisis, and I've loved it ever since. And ended up coming up to Kenora and was able to work in the community for a while at another agency, and now I'm at the Canadian Mental Health Association here. And I really enjoy being able to work with people in crisis, and be able to help them to get back on their path, whatever it is that they need help with.
Oh, that's amazing. So, what is the Skills for Safer Living group and who does it help?
So the Skills for Safer Living group is a 20-week group where it's a psychosocial, a educational group for individuals who have had a suicide attempt in their life. The age for the group is 16 and up, and that's the main criteria, is that the person has had a suicide attempt.
So, Evelyn, why was this program started?
This program was started as a result of someone in the community who had passed away by suicide, who had died by suicide. And the CMHA was approached by the family and asking, what kind of suicide prevention programs do we have here at CMHA? So the agency started tracking some data to find out how many individuals are dealing with self-harm, deliberate self-harm, or with suicidal ideation. And what they've found is over the last 3 years, those numbers are steadily increasing. And so we wanted to be able to bring a program that's going to reach those individuals who are struggling with suicide, and help them to learn ways of coping and how to live safer in the community. It's skills for safer living with the ER emphasized, so that individuals can stay safe.
Well, it's great to hear that once an issue was recognized, you created a program to help people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, who qualifies to be a part of the group?
So you have to be at least 16 years old, and you have to have at least one suicide attempt. You also need to have stable housing, and you need to have a support person in the community that you can turn to as you take in the group, because we are talking about some things that can be difficult at times for some individuals. So we want to make sure that people have the support that they need outside of group. Our group is only once a week, so that piece is really important, that they have a support person outside. And they also need to have the technology. With COVID, we're doing it by Zoom, so you just need to have the technology available for you. And then we ask that you not be using alcohol or drugs while you're in group. Doesn't mean that somebody has to necessarily have been clean for so long. They just cannot be under the influence while they're at group. So basically, if you fit those criteria, this group could be for you.
So, other than being older than 16, is there an age range, or could you be a senior and participate?
I've not been told about any cutoff range, so I think it's fine. I think as long as you're 16 and up, this group could benefit anybody at any age.
Well, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, how long does a group run for, and what does one session look like?
So the group is for an hour and a half once a week. It's at a set time, so that that time will never change, and it runs for 20 weeks. So it's quite intensive. But a typical day in the group is where we start with a check-in. We call it a micro check-in, where we just kind of get to know each other in a different way. And so we do like a micro check-in. So an example of a micro check-in would be, if you could eat your favorite food for every meal, what would it be? So it's just very lighthearted. Then we go in, we recap what we talked about the week before. We look at how people were able to apply what they learned, any aha moments that they may have had. And then we go into what we call it's a triangle. And in the triangle, we have a situation, and then we look at the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of that situation. And we draw it all out on the board. And then we look at, when did you have moments of control in your life during that situation, and then what were the choices that you had. And it's really a good visual to really sort out what it is that the problem is that you have. The clients, the participants in the group, they are the ones who come up with the problem statement that we're going to discuss, and it's a problem that somebody in the group is currently having, and so it's all directed by them. So we spend quite a bit of time on that. It's usually about 30 to 40 minutes, give or take, on the triangle, because that's a very important part of the group. And then after that, we learn a concept or a skill, and then then we do our checkout at the end. So an example of one of the skills that we talk about is, what are your warning signs? So what is it that's going on in your body when you are starting to feel unwell? So how is it affecting every aspect of your body? Are you having dark thoughts? Are your palms getting sweaty? A number of different things. You feel tension somewhere. Like, what is it for you? Because it's different for everybody. So this, even though we're teaching a skill, they need to apply it to themselves and how it is for them, because they are the experts in their life.
Well, it sounds like a great program. Like it's very well thought out.
Yeah, it's really is good. You get intensively trained in it. It's a lot of training that we do prior to being able to facilitate. So it's not like we're just picked up a manual and then you read it and you try to do it. Like, it's one-on-one training with the facilitators of the group who created it. So.
Well, that's great.
Mhm.
Once a group has completed all of their sessions, what have the members gained through their experiences being a part of their group? What have they learned?
The goal of the group is to for the participants to learn skills to live more safely in the community, and to generate a sense of hope for living. So it's skills for safer living. Instead of thinking about wanting to die, we want to look at what can you do to live more safely, and to hopefully be happier as well. Another goal is to decrease the duration, the intensity, and the frequency of the crisis that they are in, which leads them to the suicide. Um, they'll So they're going to learn to live more safely through crisis de-escalation, emotional literacy, and diagnostic education, and problem solving, and relationship management. Like, all of those things are the areas that we cover in the session. So the main goal is to learn how to live more safely in the community, and to decrease the frequency or the attempts of suicide.
Well, that's great to hear. And I like that, giving people something rather than not like always thinking about dying, but like giving them hope and a reason to live.
Yeah, so we really focus a lot on what are the choices that you can make, that you have control in, of your life, and what can you do to make some different choices, or some better choices, or some, try different things, so that they can learn new skills and apply them, and help to better their life.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, thanks so much, Evelyn, for talking to me today about the Skills for Safer Living group. What a great program to have in our community.
Well, thank you. And if anybody wants any more information, they can contact Vanessa at 807-464-3711, or they can go onto our website at CMHAK.on.ca, and there's more information there on the Skills for Safer Living. So this is a program that we're going to be running at various times, so we can get you on the list when their next group starts, and we can contact you for that.